AITA for outing my husband's ex-wife's affair. A friend told me I should consult this subreddit, so here goes. I am 28, met my now husband Elliot am 45 4 years ago when he hired me to tutor his son James, currently am 21, then am 17. I found Elliot extremely attractive and could tell he felt similarly. When I found out he and his wife Karen had been separated for over a year and were likely going to divorce, I made my move. I just thought we could have a bit of fun, but we ended up developing feelings for each other. We got married a few months ago. From the moment my husband told him we were dating, James has hated me. He was expecting Elliot to eventually reconcile with his mother, who badly wanted to get back together as well. But the reason for their separation in the first place was years of infidelity on Karen's part with Elliot's own brother, so they were pretty much never going to get back together. I was just the reason Elliot finally pulled the trigger and filed for divorce, as he wanted to start the process before asking me to actually be his partner. Nonetheless, James hates me. Just last week, in front of Elliot's entire family and literally during a family gathering to celebrate our marriage, he referred to me as the retarded Chinaman god who ruined his family by seducing his father and turning him gay. Note, I am autistic and Korean, so it was 3 slurs in one sentence, not to mention the complete invalidation of my husband's identity as a bisexual man. Honestly, that was the thing that finally made me snap more than anything. Both James and his mother have said things like this in the past, and it's very upsetting to Elliot. I could tell he was again hurt and had enough. I quickly and admittedly loudly replied that if anyone had ruined his family, it was his mother and uncle for deciding to have an affair and doubly betraying his father's trust. James already knew about this, but as I very quickly found out, not everyone in the family did. A lot of people, including my mother-in-law, were apparently under the impression that Karen and my brother-in-law only got together after the divorce. Immediately, my mother-in-law rounded on Karen and Elliot's brother and asked them if it was true. Karen's response was to burst into tears, grab her purse, and leave. The funniest part is that she left my brother-in-law behind and she had driven them there, so he was just stuck being interrogated and soon after screamed at by his mother. At this point, Elliot and I just left. He was a little upset with me at first, but we shortly thereafter learned that Karen, James, and Elliot's brother had been telling the family for years that we were the ones who had had an affair. So now my husband is just relieved it's all out in the open now and everyone knows the truth. My mother-in-law, Elliot's older sister, and much of my husband's extended family think I was perfectly in the right for making the retort. Karen, James, my brother-in-law, Elliot's younger sister, Karen's best friend, and a few others all think I'm the asshole because James has been having a hard time with the marriage and everything was in the past, so I should have just let sleeping dogs lie and ignored him like I usually do. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but AITA. This is a long story. We will call my coworker Karen. And let me preface this by saying that I am 21 and 19 weeks pregnant. Karen is a 60-year-old woman with huge attitude problems. I work as a teller at a bank and have had one run-in before now with this teller. I don't have hard evidence, but I believe this woman used confidential bank information a few months ago to make a false accusation to the cops for animal abuse at my house. When asked about it, she denied it and got angry with me and then involved multiple co-workers in it even though the conversation happened outside of work, and lied about our whole conversation saying I was accusing her and calling her a liar, which didn't happen. When brought to management's attention, I was reprimanded not on paper, just verbal, and she walked away unscathed. I haven't spoken to her on this specific situation outside of the 1-minute phone call that I made to ask if she was the one that had made the accusation. The past week, I've worked every day in the drive-thru of our bank with this woman. Since that incident, I have been nothing but kind to her, heaping coals of fire if you will. But she's the kind of woman that if she's in a bad mood, anyone else who is in a good mood should go to hell. I've been working with her and one other girl the past 2 days. Yesterday, Karen got upset around 3 p.m., decided not to join in the conversations, so the other girl, we'll call her Amy, and I ended up joking around and finishing the day with a laugh. Today was the same. She was salty all day, so we just didn't really give her extra attention outside of work-related things. At the end of the day, she got angry with me for not doing something that was actually her responsibility. It wasn't a big deal, and I said, sorry, I didn't realize it hadn't been done. She came at me saying that she was tired of my attitude and lip that I've been giving her all week. I have literally walked on eggshells around this woman for 2 months because of how she twisted the whole animal abuse thing. I tried walking into a different room to get away from her yelling at me, and my supervisor was standing in the room I walked in. Karen followed me in yelling at me and brought up the animal abuse situation. Accused me of calling her a liar and treating her badly, giving her attitude over it. I told her I have never spoken to her about this at work and would not speak about it at work. If she wanted to talk about it, she could speak to our supervisor. I tried to walk past her back into the other room, and she put both hands on my chest and pushed me backwards. 2 people saw this happen, and one of them was my supervisor. My supervisor didn't do anything, but the other person did. Amy, she jumped in and told her she wasn't going to start acting like that while I backed away with my hands raised in a surrender position while she started yelling at Amy. I managed to get past her and grabbed my things, and as I was walking out, she was still yelling at Amy, so I turned around and yelled, "Hey," and she aggressively replied, "What?" And I said, "If you ever effing put your hands on me again, it will not end well for you. Don't effing touch me again." And she tried to say that I shoved her hand away one time years ago while she was trying to do something, and I literally have no idea what she's talking about. My supervisor did not get involved at any point. I left work and messaged my supervisor and branch manager and told them I want to speak with them and the bank president on Monday first thing and explain exactly what happened. But based off the conversation I already had on the phone, my branch manager, and he made the comment of finding a way to work together.